Hello and welcome to the Kamla Show, where we bring you interviews and conversations with technologists, entrepreneurs, filmmakers, and other newsmakers from in and around the San Francisco Bay Area. My guest today is Dr. Charles Wong. He is the co-founder of LUMOBack Tech, a Palo Alto-based company that has introduced 2 products within 3 years.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So the product you have is called LUMOBack, which we have here. And LUMOBack was referred as the posture police by Wired magazine, and I tried it out yesterday.
Yeah.
It indeed is a posture police. It kept buzzing and asking me to sit up straight. It says, sit up straight, put your shoulders back, don't slouch. Tell us about LUMOBack.
Absolutely. So 3 of us got together, and one of the co-founders of LUMOBack Tech, Andrew, he actually has had back pain for 12 years. And so for him, it was a very personal problem. He tried everything, going to doctors, physical therapists, trying a few different alternative medicine solutions, and nothing really helped him. And then one of our other co-founders, Monisha, she's married to a pain physician who said, hey, posture is actually really critical to taking care of your back and your back pain. So he actually went and took a posture class, and when he actually learned about how to sit better, how to stand better, how to really think about how to position his body, that's the one thing that he found to be
Who did
really
he take
helpful.
the class with?
So there are a couple different places in Palo Alto. There's one called the Balance Center, which is where he went. And so basically we're learning about how do you position your body and how do you position your lower back, specifically your pelvis, to really allow your whole spine to stack up well so that you can sit better and stand better.
And we have a tendency, couch potatoes. I couldn't be a couch potato yesterday because it kept buzzing incessantly. So how does this, you wear this around your waist?
Yes, so LUMOBack, this product, what you do is you wear it around your waist, so it's a band, and you take it off like this, and you just put it around your waist. And I actually have one on right now. And what it does is that once you put it on, you can put it on over or under your clothes, but really most people just put it on underneath their clothes, so it becomes something that people can't even see. And what it will do is it will track everything that you do. So posture is very important, as we talked about. It'll also track how much time you spent sitting, how much time you spend standing or walking or doing other things, and then really allow you to understand what is it that you're doing so that you can actually be a healthier person, just given what you learn.
So there is an app. So this goes to the back. This sits in the small of your back.
That's right. That's right.
And then this is the on-off button.
That's right. So
and there is an app.
Yes. So what I can do is I'll show you here. This would literally go like this around your waist, and I actually already have one on, so
okay.
So as you can see, you can't really tell that, that it's on. There's an application, and what we have is a little avatar that we call Lumo affectionately, and so he basically mimics what you do. And so as I start to kind of slouch like this, he'll actually slouch in real time. I'll get actually a vibration in the band itself that'll remind me to sit up nice and straight. So as I was mentioning before, it also tracks other things. So it'll know, say, if I stand up as an example, it will know that. Or if I start to walk, it'll know that I'm doing that. Or if I come back to the seat, sit down, and let's say I'm slouching again, it'll know all of that. And so then what we can do is tell people a lot about what they're doing. So what's their posture score been, as an example, or how much time have they spent sitting down. So 2 hours and 50 minutes today, and you can see it's still counting up because obviously I'm sitting here. How many times people have gotten up or stood up. We can track the amount of steps people have taken, and even how much sleep they get and what positions. So really what it does is it really takes a holistic picture of what people are doing. And the other piece about the product is you can literally use the product without the application. So you can go about your day and it'll track everything you're doing. It will give you vibration if you're not sitting or standing well, and then when you come back and look at the app, it will actually upload all that information to the application.
Ah, so the app, you don't have to be glancing at the app every second.
No.
Okay.
One of the things we have found, though, that people tell us is that when they're at work, they want to be seeing what's happening, so they'll often keep their phone on, or they'll keep it sort of displayed so they can see exactly what they're doing. Because one of the reasons why we have Lumo, the avatars, because people over time just lose proprioception of where their body is in space, so they don't really understand what is good posture anymore. So they often may feel like they're in a good position, but they're actually not. And so what Lumo can help do is guide people back into what that good position is.
Okay. And so how does it work? Embedded here, inside this, there is something. There is a chip.
Yep.
A controller?
Yes. So there are motion sensors in there that basically will tell you what you're doing. And so on board are a bunch of algorithms that our team has developed that allow us to know what is it exactly that you're doing with your body at any given moment. So, are you walking, or are you sitting down, or are you standing, are you lying down, those sorts of things. It's all programmed into the actual device itself.
And then you power it through a micro USB.
That's right. So the micro USB is the way that you can charge it, and it'll last 5 days on a single charge.
Oh, 5 days. Mm-hmm. And a single charge is for how long? 90 minutes, 2 hours?
Oh, no, wearing it consistently for 5 days straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you said that one of your co-founders' husband was the one who said pain is a big thing, and posture is one of the reasons why people suffer from pain. How did you kind of hone in and say, okay, this is what we want to do? Were there other devices that are there in the market? Are there other devices that are there in the market that come close to what you have?
So we really took a very design-centered approach to solving the problem. So once we realized that this was a pretty big issue, that given that we as people have evolved over millions of years to really move, and what's actually happened now is that we spend most of our time sitting or being sedentary. And so we're really doing things in ways that we weren't designed to do. And then, of course, we sit a lot, and we generally sit very poorly. So we started realizing how big of an issue this was just from a societal level. And so we thought, okay, this is an interesting problem. And then once we saw this experience that Andrew had, where he literally started paying attention to what he did with his body, and it made a profound impact on him, we thought, well, there must be ways that we can help to solve this. And because it seems simple on the outset of, okay, well, how do you help someone with their biomechanics? But then how do you actually get them to do it? And so we started thinking, how can we do that? And that's when we started experimenting with different things. And we realized was that, hey, there may be a way to actually put something on people's bodies that will help them to alert them, say, if they're not sitting or standing well, and how do we go about doing that? So we just started prototyping a lot and building different things, and ultimately kind of got to here.
So what were the different prototypes you had?
So we started out literally with a piece of paper. Actually, I think I still have it in my wallet here. I carry it around as a reminder of where we started. But basically, at some point we were in a room and we came together and we said, hey, what if we could actually create something that kind of looked like this, that, would give some sort of a signal.
So this would be like a rod kind of a thing stuck in the back?
Well, literally we're thinking it's almost like a piece of paper, sort of a Band-Aid that you could stick to someone's back, right?
And then that would
maybe there's something here that would sort of tell you what you were doing, or, it was literally just a brainstorm, right?
And literally that's what it is. It's a band with a belt,
Yeah, so we went through a bunch of iterations of different form factors. We started out trying actually literally using Band-Aids, taping Band-Aids to people, putting things into Band-Aids and taping them to people and saying, hey, what's that like to wear this? Would you want to wear something like that? So we actually had people just wear dummies around and get their opinion. One of the interesting pieces of information we found out by doing that is that when you have something like a Band-Aid or an adhesive, even if it's something that's going to last for a while, you don't know what to do with it. Do you just throw it away? Can you make multiple use adhesives?
So
what
the
do you do
use
with
case.
it? So you start thinking about the use cases. Even if there's no technology in it, you just start to learn a lot about what's actually going to work, what will people go for.
And you took an unusual route. You went the Kickstarter route to raise money.
We did. So at the time, one of the reasons why we did that was, this was back in 2012. One of the reasons why we did that was because we really wanted to make sure that people really would want this product. So when we were developing it and we started to get to a certain point, we got a lot of people saying to us, hey, if you build this, I'll definitely buy it. No question, I'll buy it. And people will say a lot of things to you. They say things because they don't want to hurt your feelings, or they're your friend, or even if it's a stranger, it's just a strange interaction, right, to be critiquing somebody.
But in your case, they came through.
But in our case, so we said, hey, let's do it and see, are people really going to put down their credit cards? In our case, they did, and so for us, it was a piece of market validation to say, hey, people, if we do build it, they will actually buy it.
So you got 200K through the Kickstarter route.
Right.
And then you got seed funding of 1.1 million.
Right.
And then you got 5 million as Series A.
Right. The 1.1 seed funding actually came
From?
before Kickstarter.
Okay.
So we had already gotten some funding. And so, again, we really utilized Kickstarter both to utilize those funds to help us build the product, as well as to be able to really validate that we were on the right track.
How many of these devices have you sold?
Lots and lots. We don't go into specifics around numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens to the data that you collect? Because privacy is a big concern. So I think in the early days I saw, when I was reading through, you had big data attached to the description.
Yeah, I mean, we use best practices for privacy. We are, the data that we collect is that person's data, and we feel very, very strongly about protecting their data.
Okay. What is next? Next is, now that you've invented this is your next, Lift is your next product?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And this has not been introduced?
So we announced this at CES.
CES, the Consumer Electronics.
That's right,
yeah.
in January,
Okay.
right. And so what we did was, through a design process, what you're really trying to do is understand, what do people really want, right? And what's the feedback that you get? So once we launched LUMOBack, we started to learn a lot of really interesting information, among which is LUMOBack is really great for detecting your pelvis and your lower back. And because your spine is totally connected, as you start to move even your upper back, your lower back starts to move too. So LUMOBack can pick up a bit of that, a fair amount of that. But the interesting part is that they wanted more specificity about what are they doing, what are people doing with their shoulders. They really wanted more information there. And so we started hearing a lot of feedback around that. And so because of that, we came out with LumoLift, which has a totally different form factor. It's a lot smaller, and it's basically a small clasp that magnetizes to the sensor.
And you're already wearing?
So I'm already wearing one right here. So you can see it's extremely discreet.
And how does it, so again, it talks to your iPhone.
Right, so
There's
we can talk to an app on the iPhone as well. And so basically, again, you can do is actually turn the vibration on in a similar way to LumoBack, but what we've decided to do is make it so that we have what's called power-up sessions, where people will be able to turn the vibration on for a period of time and really think about training themselves.
Just listening to you, I find that I'm sitting up straighter.
Well, again, awareness is really the key component here, right? It's really about just knowing that that's something that needs to happen. So when we get really busy and we're focusing on things, you forget often what you're doing with your body, and so it's just a little subtle reminder.
And this is going to be available when?
So this is going to be launching late spring, so we're talking kind of late May to June timeframe, yeah.
Charles, thank you so much for stopping by today and talking about LumoBack and the Lift, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Kamal.
And thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with another edition. Until then, goodbye